Okay, Girish, I'll unmute you.
I think I have a million questions.
Okay.
Last week, you just kind of briefly said something about how, the work we're doing, in inverted commas, is probably the most important work in our lives, and yet it appears that very few people engage in it seriously. I wonder if you could just expand upon, because I'm always concerned about, am I doing the right thing in doing, sort of thing. I'm never quite sure if I'm doing the right thing in terms of serving myself and serving others. Does that make sense?
Yep, I can speak to that.
Thank you.
You're always doing the right thing, Girish. Something that becomes very, very clear as awakeness lives more here than someone called Soraya is that we can never not be doing the right thing. Because once we understand that the sense of being is where freedom lies, then we are lived. Because that sense of being is so expansive and unlimited, consciousness will use that. And we will be moved to do things that perhaps we, as a separate body-mind, may not have done with that separate body-mind identification. So trust that you can do no wrong and allow the mind to get out of the way. And if you feel a pull towards something, don't resist that. It's like you felt a pull to join this satsang, didn't you? And that was an irresistible pull, wasn't it? So that irresistible pull is what we look for. When we cannot not do something, we are being moved, we are being lived. As a separate body mind, the I of that likes to claim something. I had this great idea. I did this. I did that. And we still use that terminology loosely because we've only got words, and words, although they're incredibly inadequate, that's actually all we have to communicate with. So anything I say can probably be, picked apart if I was going to do that. But we're just using words here. And the point being that we are moved, we are lived. There is an irresistible pull drawing us. And there are certain times in our life where that just seems so clear. And there's other times when it can be confusing. And I think this is what you're saying. It's in those confusing times, Girish. Am I right? Just nod if that's right. Yeah. So in those confusing times, that's the time to just be still and mindful, aware. I find the term mindfulness a little bit confusing because it's talking about the mind, whereas in mindfulness it's just conscious, living consciously, really. But remaining conscious to see if there's doubts and confusion and judgment coming in, that's always the separate body mind. Okay, that's the separate self coming in with the patterns and usually judging from those patterns. If something feels right, it sits right in your heart. It sits right in your body. This body is like the barometer of our soul. And it's going to tell us that something's wrong. If there's perhaps a churning in the gut or, tension in the muscles, we need to notice. That can be a little helpful in the beginning until our intuition just becomes clear, and then it's not that we have to think about something much at all. Because if we come to a fork in the road, we think we decide right or left, but actually the body is simply moved and couldn't do anything else in actual fact. And, you know, even science has proven this now, haven't they? When a decision is made and then they've showed that the actual brain only cognizes that after the decision is made. It's quite interesting. Was there another part to your question, Girish? Or
no, actually, that's all really. Thank you.
Okay, good question. Thank you.